Hello, today our group will present you about our assignment, dictionaries, references, and terminology. Shahrul, you may start.
Dictionaries. The fact that remain it it is not the case, certainly not in our day and age, when both language and knowledge are changing almost daily. If, for instance, you specialize in translating medical subject and you stop doing it for a few months, you may find out there are new names of drugs, medical concepts, and procedures with, which did not exist at the time you stopped translating. Therefore, you need current reference sources that will enable you to handle current medical subjects. By the same token, the same dictionaries and references become dated the day they are published and will never answer all your questions. Translator must get in habit of compiling your own database and glossaries in subject you frequently translate to keep yourself up to date and always be on the lookout for a new reference. Dictionaries are expensive. When you start out on this business, you soon discover that the acquisition of good dictionaries and reference literature is quite an expensive proposition. The best general and technical dictionaries in such major languages as Spanish, German, French, and Japanese range range in price from $100 to over $300 each. Good technical reference books in specialty subjects are not much cheaper. As a beginner, you may not be independently wealthy and you might get an assignment which would require a couple of more expensive dictionaries, but the money you earn from the assignment will not cover the cost. Dictionaries and ebook. As of this writing, there are a growing trend in the publishing world to be produce dictionaries and reference as electronic media, is known as ebooks. Does this mean we should stop buying dictionaries? This is hard to predict. Books are not going to disappear in the next few years, if ever, but ebooks in general are becoming more and more popular and user-friendly on handheld electronic devices. Typically, a professor translator engaged in a highly technical translation job will be surrounded by dictionaries and references sources and will be looking up things in as many as 10 or 12 different books at the same time. To do all of this on computer would necessitate a 10 or 12 part split screen with a great deal of key punching or mouse clicking, which may be more time consuming than simply having the good old books spread around you. On the other hand, e-books are virtually weightless and do not occupy any space, making them great tools for the translator on the go. How all of this will play out in the immediate future is a little hard to predict.
The second material is about reference literature. Besides dictionaries, a working translator needs reference books for the subjects being translated. First, there are general references covering general knowledge, data, and language. Then there are specific references geared toward a given field. The third major source of information today is the Internet. Use it extensively. And the next is terminology management. Dictionaries and electronic equipment are not sufficient to produce high-quality translations. With language changing almost daily, you have no choice but to compile your own glossaries in specific subject areas. In the old days, We simply jotted words on pieces of paper and kept them inside the dictionary, either in the front or in the back. When we translated a specialized item, we would write down the difficult and unknown terms, do some research, and write down the English equivalents of the foreign terms. Now we have become much more sophisticated. We do what is known in professional linguistic circles as terminology management.
And next, we have types of terminology. Each field of human knowledge and activity has its own terminology, such as law, medicine, and other things. Also, there will be the same words, but different meaning in every areas. So, how to organizing our glossaries? It's by putting them in alphabetical order. Another major area of terminology is organizational language. This refers to major corporations, not-for-profit organizations, and government agencies, all of whom develop their own terminology, which becomes extremely critical in doing translation work. The other aspect of organizational language is preferential usage and corporate style. This is not matter of right or wrong terminology, but of the choice of words and the style of writing of a particular organization. Another area of terminology management, which is familiar for every translator, is acronyms and initialises. Documents today are saturated with acronyms and abbreviations. Some are universally known and are used daily in the media. Compiling lists of acronyms and abbreviations and organizing them in a systematic and accessible manner is one of the most important functions of technical translation into this world. So next is about creating new terminology. It's not common for translators to create new terminology. This work is done by specialists in either academia, private industry, or government, and by the language academies of various countries. Actually, there are many possibilities about making new terminology. The first one, new terms could be effective and will become official. And the second one, someone else may improve upon them and provide better terms. To sum up, terminology management is probably the most critical aspect of technical translation. The better we manage it, the more extensive our up-to-date terminology stores are. So I think that's all from our group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.